Hello, welcome, Devil Sniper here, and today I'm bringing you episode number 7 of our career mode with West Ham United. As you will see, Cole, O'Brien, Chiarte and Collins have all signed contract extensions, which is absolutely fantastic. Gives me a bit of a relief before we go into the January transfer window, and of course gives me a lot of relief going into next summer, which is still a long way off. We've got a lot of football to play between now and then. So we're going to go into a quick squad report. Just going to fly through this one. It's an early season squad report, so nothing major has happened. A few of the lads seem to be disappointed at the lack of matches. Some feel they're not playing enough games, but at the end of the day, some of them haven't got the roles to be playing a lot of games, and some of them just haven't been living up to the expectations. And, you know, it's a competitive side. Because we haven't got a fantastically massive squad, everyone is fighting tooth and nail to be in the first team. So, you know, a lot of the boys have got to step their game up and not just moan and whine about it. Step their game up and start playing more games. But as you can see, we've only played 4 games, and Downing is unhappy that he's not playing enough. I mean, he's missed one game. Literally just one game, which I find that to be completely and utterly stupid. And the boy needs to take himself to one side and just have a little chat with himself, because that is absolutely ridiculous. At the end of the day, a player could burn himself out and end up being injured for a good 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. And that's the one thing, or the last thing, that we can't afford at this moment in time. We need all our boys to be 100% fit. But that aside, we're at home at the Bowden taking on Everton. From what I understand, Everton are quite a decent side, quite a physical passing side, so it should make for an interesting game. I feel that we've got a lot of mobility in that centre of the park, especially with Mbolo. Very good young player, you know, he definitely got the energy to be a box-to-box player. We've got Chiarte sitting in front of that back four, and he's been an absolute diamond so far this season. Of course, Ravel Morrison is coming back to the Bowden. I'm not sure the West Ham fans are going to give him a great reception since his £8.75 million move to Everton at the beginning of the season. But it was Everton who kicked off, and I've got to say, Everton really did have a crack at us. Morales knocking that ball out to that right-hand side. They were tricky, they were well and truly up for it, and we were really slow getting out of the starting gates. We allowed them onto us. We sat too deep, and we were trying to hit them on the counter-attack. But you can see from Everton's shape, fantastic defensive shape there. Really, really good defensive shape. But the ball into Mbolo, tries a little skill, gets into the box, goes for the shot, but it's straight down the throat of the Everton goalkeeper, unfortunately. But again, the game was just end to end. We had an attack, Everton came straight back, flying down with an attack. Nice ball to the back, to the edge of the 18-yard box, and the shot was just, it didn't justify the move. But look at Big AC forcing his way through, plays a delightful ball into Valencia, and unfortunately Valencia can just not punish Everton for that critical error. It's really, really disappointing. Our finishing at this moment in time, even though we're doing quite well, we've won 4 games from 4, our finishing has not been that sublime. But a beautiful ball into Valencia again, and again Valencia is just not clinical in that final third of the pitch, which is a great shame. I think if he starts scoring goals, he could go on to score an absolute bagful. But I felt we had the better of the play. I felt that we actually dominated Everton. As much as they came out and really hit us hard and fast to begin with, we settled the game down, we kept good ball retention, and we hit them with a couple of nice counter-attacks. And we hit him with a couple of nice attacks. We just didn't take our chances, which is really, really disappointing. As you can see, Matthews making a huge error there twice with Oviedo coming down that left-hand side. Everton came out, started the second half like they did with the first half. Very physical, very fast, very, very direct. And again, Matthews getting pulled left, right and centre. The ball to the back post to Morales, and he slams it in with an, I've got to say, hold my hands up and say, that was a delightful volley. Absolutely delightful volley. Nice ball in, and bang. Could we pick on Adrian there and say, you know, he should have done better? It's near post. Really, really, he should be pushing that out and round the post for me personally. But it all stemmed from Matthews' 2 critical errors against Oviedo, which was really, really disappointing. But Chiarte played a beautiful ball into Valencia. Valencia rounded the Everton goalkeeper and just slipped it into the back of the net in the 55th minute, which was absolutely fantastic. Nothing more than what we deserve. It was us who deserved to be 1-0 up, not Everton, mate. You know, they had a couple of good chances, nothing major. They hadn't really, really troubled us. They were just very, very direct, very, very physical. But we had dealt with that, and we'd had the better chances. But it doesn't matter if you have the better chances. If you don't take them, it means absolutely nothing. You can have the ball for 100% of the time. If you don't score the goals, it means nothing. And we're learning that the hard way at the moment. As I say, you know, 4 wins from 4 games, but we haven't been playing absolutely majestic football. That's something that I want to correct with the boys. It's something I want the boys to correct and start playing some beautiful, beautiful football, but it will come. It all takes time. And as you can see in the 60th minute, I decided to make a couple of substitutions. I really felt that Big AC just wasn't mobile and agile enough to do what I wanted of him. I want my big man to be able to have a little bit of agility, have a bit more movement, and unfortunately just wasn't delivering that, hence why I bought on Poulsen. But Everton just kept coming back and back and back and back at us. Had a great opportunity there, but Lukaku was just too eager to get forward, and thankfully it was offside. But Valencia caused Everton problems all day long, breaking into the box, puts a beautiful ball across the 6-yard box, and nobody is trying to get in on the end of it. Nobody's breaking their neck to get on the end of that, which is a great shame. It was an absolutely audacious move from Valencia to get into the box, square it across, and nobody there. So the game unfortunately did finish 1-1, but my man of the match for game number 5 has to go to Valencia. He had a couple of great opportunities that he could have scored. He scored a nice goal, and he was very creative within that game, and it was just a really well-rounded performance in my opinion. We'll move on straight into the next game, which is away to Aston Villa. Villa aren't doing too well in the league at this moment in time, and to be quite honest, they're there for the taking. If we can hit the ground running hard and fast, they're there for the taking. Something that we haven't done all season. Most of the teams we played against have really come out quite aggressive against us in the early moments and really gone at us and really tested us in those early first 10 minutes. And again, the same pattern continues. Aston Villa came out like an absolute battering ram, causing us all sorts of problems in the first 10 minutes. Great opportunity there from Sanchez, but he just stuck it straight over the bar. Not renowned for his finishing. We did get an opportunity with Sacco breaking into the box. Great shot, but Guzan pulls off an absolutely majestic save. Have no idea how he managed to pull that off, but Sacco should be scoring now. Unfortunately didn't, but again, it was Aston Villa in the 12th minute with a great opportunity. They really were quite ferocious in the attack, and they were causing a lot of problems with their movement. Our back four was just struggling to get to grips with the pace and the intensity of their movement. As you can see, they're playing some nice intricate football in the box. The shot there, I think, was a little bit... I think it was a poor decision by the Villa player, but at the end of the day, I'm not fussed because they didn't score. But again, you can see Villa coming hammering at us in the 40th minute. Header onto the bar. How that stayed out, I do not know. How he put it onto the bar, I do not know. I really don't. That was an easy opportunity, but Valencia, 45th minute, knocking the ball inside into Embello. Embello plays the ball forward onto Sacco. Sacco cuts onto his left foot. Another great shot and a simple save. Straight down the throat, really, to be honest. Straight down the throat of Guzan, and quite a simple save in the end. But it was a beautiful flowing move from ourselves, and we hadn't had much of that in the first half. We really, really did sit back and allow Aston Villa to dictate the game, which is something I do not want to see. It should be us dictating the game with our passing football, but unfortunately it was Villa. Start of the second half, Villa came out and done exactly the same again. Started to dictate the tempo, the pace, the actual passion of the game, and they really were tearing us apart. And I decided to take off Morgan because, to be honest with you, he'd just been a bystander all game, and I thought, you know what, we'll get Yusuf on there, hopefully create some opportunities. He's a big lad, he's quick, he's physical, he's very tricky, and hopefully cause some issues. But it was Tompkins playing a delightful ball through into Poulsen. Poulsen managed to use his acceleration, dinks the cross into Embello, coming in on the 6-yard box for an absolutely fantastic goal. And it's got to be said, as soon as I brought Poulsen on, the game changed. The boy's got the pace, he's got the ability. Beautiful little dink cross. Embello, who is just an absolute revelation for me, just comes in on that 6-yard box. You know, he completely bewilders the defender with his pace to get past him, and bang, heads it in. Absolutely beautiful goal. But Aston Villa would not give up. A great cross, and how he missed that, I just do not know. A gaping opportunity. All he had to do was literally get it on target or header it back towards the penalty spot, and it would have been 1-1. But I have no idea how he managed not to do that. But a great ball from Embello into Poulsen. Poulsen tried to get it through to Sacco. Sacco, unfortunately, was just a little bit caught on his heels, and Aston Villa managed to get the ball away. Reedy, who had been solid as a rock, he really had been solid as a rock for all our attacking players. Reedy was absolutely sensational. When we were under the cosh, as the statistics will show, 56% possession for Aston Villa. Reedy was the man who stood firm, stood strong, and stood solid as a rock. And for that reason, he gets my man of the match in game number 6 against Aston Villa, even though it does say against Everton.
I used to dream about cars and things, about being a star and things. I thought that I